Good afternoon, everyone. This is Peter here, Peter Dykes Clairvoyant. So I thought I'd just come on this video because I want to explain something, what I do with a certain thing. So this is nothing to do with readings, this is to do with crystals. So I want to be a little bit honest about me and crystals and what I know and what I don't know and how I sell them and promote them. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, okay? I'm not being pushed or forced to do it. I'm gladly do it because, you know me, I've come on here and been many honest about things, very sensitive about things and, you know, whatever. So I'm always upfront. You get what you get with me and that's it. So the crystals, my room is absolutely full of them here. And I'm a Leo. So Leo's a very creative energy, and I kind of like selling the crystals because I find them creative and I think they're beautiful. So it kind of fills that creative void that I don't have like I used to have when I was being a chef many years ago. So it kind of fills that void. But it's very funny how I say that because it isn't my main thing. I always say my main thing now is doing online readings or readings in general and my psychic and spiritual events. So that's me, that's what I'm all about. And the reason why I say that is I'm very knowledgeable about what I do. I'm not saying I'm the best medium, the best psychic, or not going down that line, but what I'm saying is I've got experience in it, I've been doing it a long time, I've developed knowledge. So I know what I'm doing and how I go about things. Now, crystals is something new that I brought in, perhaps maybe over the last 5 years, more so over the last 2, in other words, started selling a lot more of them, more wider choice. But I do that mainly for you. But I don't go to shows and listing the crystals and all this, because one, I haven't got time, because it isn't my main thing. It's more of like a little sideline to me. I'm not bothered whether these sell or not. You know, I don't buy things and say, oh my God, I've got to sell all these. You know, I don't worry about it. You know, they're there for you when you want them, and if you don't want them, that's absolutely fine. Now, yes, because I'm spiritual, I sell them on, you know, for what they are, and I also do list all the healing properties that go with them, like every other spiritual healer does, okay? But I don't sit here and say, look, this will cure this or that, or does this or does that, you know, and that's it, because I don't. I will always be very honest. You know, you've got an illness, seek the doctor, seek help, take your medication if you feel so you should. Now, we're going into a very different age today where people have got their beliefs that medication is wrong and blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I'm not going to go into that. You know, if you don't take your medication or don't go to the doctor because you want to do everything the natural way, that's absolutely fine. Those are your choices, your beliefs. Like, I think my wife, she loves watching documentaries. And she was watching something about cancer. I think it was on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix. If not, it was probably Amazon Prime. And this lady, she didn't want to go down the path of having chemotherapy, and she was doing other things. I'm not sure what she was doing. And, you know, she felt like she beat it, and then in the next breath, she passed away. So I'm not saying that was to do with her choices. You know, she might have passed away whether she'd have had healing, you know, chemo or not. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is we all have our beliefs today, don't we? We're looking at different things, different alternatives. To me, it's like to get a balanced, healthy lifestyle, or to look after yourself, or to hope you live longer, you've got to eat properly, drink properly, sleep properly, and, you know, have a nice balanced diet. Don't eat processed foods, or as very little as possible. You You know, don't have takeaways all the time, and you know, like I say, just look after yourself and perhaps not smoke and don't vape, and you know, you'll probably have a healthy long life. But then saying that in the next breath, you know, you don't know when your time's up, your time's up. And I'd become a bit concerned of my health over the last few months, so I'm going to the doctor. I'm taking medication for my migraines, so I'm going to the doctor when I need to. I'm trying to take less sulfadanes, and I have done. I've still kind of take them to a point. I'm being a bit naughty there, but I've reduced them dramatically. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to only have 1 or 2 takeaways a month, where I could have perhaps 1 or 2 a week before, with working very hard. And I now go swimming every day, or sometimes there's days that miss for different reasons. But my headaches are a lot less, and it's not because I've done this or done that, because I feel like I'm doing a bit of everything. You know, I'm helping myself. And you know, and there are, going back to the crystals, I was trying to find this crystal before I did it. I don't know where I put it. I got this lovely little crystal, and it's got 2 little points that go like that, and then 1 that comes down, and it just sits here nicely, sort of points there with the points of the crystal, and here. And sometimes when I got a really bad migraine, I would lie down on the bed and I would put that on, and it almost feels very cold to touch, which crystals are. Real crystals are cold to touch. And it almost like I felt it very healing. So yes, I do bless the crystals with all the healing capabilities, okay? But I do hope and pray that you do seek medical advice for whatever issues that you've got. And if you don't do that, then that's your choice. You have to do the right decisions and choices for you, like I have to do the right decisions and choices for me. But yes, I will use crystals. I mean, obviously, I believe in crystals because I work with my crystal ball for my readings. I believe in the power of them. Now, there's somebody out there at the moment, and I follow him and I watch him. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to get involved in that way. And he has got a wealth of knowledge of crystals, amazing me, and puts me to shame. But then again, admittedly, I do not know those types of things. And 1, I haven't got the time and the energy to learn all the ins and outs of all the, let's say, I don't know what's the word to use, geological things to do with crystals. I haven't got the time to learn all that because I'm busy at what I'm doing. And to be honest, even all the mystical things spiritually, I haven't even got the time to learn all them, because you'll probably notice sometimes when you ask me something, I'll go and look on my computer or look on my phone. You know, I do not know it all. I don't have the time and the energy, because that's not my main focus, is crystals. I just do it as a little sideline. I promote them in the way spiritually, and they're there for you. And if you want to buy them off me, that's brilliant. And if you don't have to. You know, I don't shove them down your throat. I don't work like that, and I don't even do that with my readings. I'm just here if you need me. Oh, let me just, excuse me, I just need to put my phone on charge. My battery's dead. My battery's always dead. Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, for going back to this person, so he's gone down a different route. He could have gone down the norm route of choosing spiritual, let's say, healing, and it didn't sit right with him. And fair play to him. Fair play to him. So he's gone down this, I don't know what's the right word, and I can't pronounce it right, geological way, and learning. That's it. That's his words, learning. And I think brilliant, fantastic, fair play to this person. You know, when somebody goes down the path of doing something and it's not the normal way, my hand goes up to them and I think brilliant, well done you. And that's what I think. I've even liked some of this person's videos. I've even perhaps commented now and again, because I literally love watching him, following him, and he's actually learning me, you know, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Brilliant. So I don't knock this person at all. I think his page is absolutely brilliant. What he does is absolutely brilliant. But now it's like I'm not saying he's getting on his high horse, but I suppose anyway he is. And he's going to start calling out fake crystals, which I get that, that's, there are a lot of fake crystals out there. And now you've got, what do they call it now? This digital printing, I forget what they call it. It's like now they can man-made diamonds, can't they? And he's even talked about that. So you've got that side of it. And sometimes, again, I like to think that my crystals I've got are legit, but sometimes it's very difficult to tell legit from not, but I like to think I'm buying them from good suppliers, so hopefully I'm covered in that way. And anything's wrong with my crystals, I'm always happy to talk to anybody about it and sort whatever problems about with them. Like I've got a lady now, little crystals come off the bracelet, little thing, and these do happen, and I could say, that's wear and tear, but I'm not going to argue about that. I'll replace it for her, not a problem. I said, well, look, next time I come up for a reading, I'll bring you a new one, no problem at all. And it saves me posting it, and she's happy with that. She's happy, I'm happy. So yeah, but now he's getting on his high horse about people selling crystals to do with the healing, and he's mentioned something, I think he's mentioned it about the placebo effect. And that's a very funny one, isn't it, this placebo effect? And he's argued against that. Now, I do believe in that. I mean, to my point of view is, well, is it better to have a crystal, or is it better to sort of bury your head in a bottle of wine? That's my argument. And if that placebo effect sort of makes you feel a bit better, then to me, there's no harm in that. And I think that's good. But again, even though I say that, I would never say to somebody, not go see the doctor. Okay? Because I do not want that onus and responsibility on me. You do what you do. These are your choices. I don't sell anything and say, look, have this crystal and you will never want to see a doctor again. I don't think anybody has ever heard me say that. Okay? And I don't promote that way with my crystals. I say, buy these off me and you won't need to go to your doctor. So in other words, it's your responsibility to do the right thing for you. And I just sell crystals the way I look at them, and that's it. And it's like this placebo effect. When people are making drugs, and the manufacturers, and they test them on people, they have got the real drug with some people, and they got the placebo effect, the placebo pill. So, even drug manufacturers, but, this person, if he ever listens to my video, he might have something to argue about that, and that's fine. But I just feel it's a bit wrong, to sort of do this. My point is, it's like somebody comes on now on my videos or whatever, and especially an unbeliever, and they take the rip out of me doing what I'm doing. My point is, well, I don't go on your page and take the rip out of you. You do what you want to do. I don't criticize your job. Don't criticize mine. So, whether I'm going to be as wrath at one point in the future is possible. Fair play. If he wants to have a go and a dig at me, that's absolutely fine. I hope he doesn't, because I don't go on his page and criticize him. I absolutely love what he does. I think fair play to the path he's gone down. He's chosen a very different path, and he's been very successful at what he's doing, and I wish him all the best with it. I really do. But I think to just have a go or calling out spiritual healers, blah, 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 I just think it's a bit wrong. We've all got our own way of doing things, and I hope when we sell these things to other people, I hope we just sell it in the right way, but yes, promoting natural healing, and I hope we just do it in the right ethical way. And he might say, there is no right ethical way with it. I'm going to beg to differ. But yeah. So what's your point of view on this? I'd love to hear your points, your comments, your feedback. Some of you might side with me, side with this person, and again, you know, that's all well and good. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. So thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.